Okay, good morning, class, once again. And now we are back going over solving two-step equations with special cases. So, as we learned previously, most of the time a two-step equation looks like this. So let's go ahead and review this. So let's solve it. So the first thing we would do, of course, is circle the variable. Okay, I didn't mean to circle the plus sign there. So now we have to cancel out add 4, so the opposite of adding 4, of course, is subtracting 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Bring down your 2x. Negative 12 minus 4 is, that's correct, negative 16. Now the opposite of multiplication is, that's correct, division. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is a 1 in disguise. And negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. Remember our faces, which is why a negative divided by a positive is a negative. Now let's go ahead and review how to check our answer. So we take 2 times negative 8 plus 4 equals negative 12. Okay, I'm going to circle the 2 times negative 8 because that's what we want to do first. So 2 times negative 8 is negative 16 plus 4 equals negative 12. And negative 16 plus 4 is negative 12. So if both sides equal each other, we know we did it correctly. Now remember, at any time, if I'm going too fast on this, all you need to do is hit pause and you can catch up or rewind if you need to. Now, occasionally, they can look like this. We have x plus 4 divided by 2 equals negative 12. So I want to give you a few seconds to think about this and decide what you think the first step might be. And in a minute, we're going to find out if you're correct. Okay, now hold that thought for a second. And now we're going to go over the steps for solving this special case. So step 1 says use the multiplicative inverse property. Which is multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction. Remember the blank rule of blank. That would be the golden rule of algebra. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Then solve the remaining one-step equation. Okay, so folks, this is x minus 5 divided by 7 equals 28. So you notice we have the divided by 7. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of that first so we get the x minus 5 by itself. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So that's why we are using the multiplicative inverse. So we're going to multiply both sides by 7. In the example above, if you said to yourself, get rid of the denominator, then you were correct. Now let's go ahead and finish this problem. Okay, the 7's cancel. Okay, and now we're going to bring down the x minus 5 equals 28 times 7. So you can take a second to figure this out in your calculator. And if you said 196, you are in fact correct. So now we circle our variable. So we want to get rid of minus 5. The opposite of subtracting 5 is adding 5. 196 plus 5 is 201. Now, to double check our answer, we're going to go over here. I'm going to circle my answer. And we're going to write 201 minus 5 divided by 7 equals 28. Now to check this, you have to make sure you're following order of operations. So when we have fractions, we do what's on top first. So we're going to do 201 minus 5, which is 196. Now we divide it by 7, and 196 divided by 7, if we double check it in our calculator, is in fact 28. So we have 28 equals 28. And now this checks. Okay, so folks, once again, remember when you're checking this, make sure you do what's on top first. So if you're doing this in your calculator, you have to do 201 minus 5 and hit equals first. If you don't hit equals, your calculator will follow order of operations and it will do it incorrectly. So you have to hit 201 minus 5, hit equals, it will give you 196, and then you divide it by 7 and you will get 28. If you do not check these that way, it will not check correctly. Okay, look at number 2. I want you to think about what you would do to both sides. If you said multiply both sides by -3, you are in fact correct. So we're going to multiply both sides by -3. Okay, the -3's will in fact cancel because we're using the inverse property. So 15 plus n equals 6 times -3 is -18. Okay, I'm going to circle my variable and the symbol in front. Okay, we want to get rid of 15, so we have to subtract 15 from both sides. Okay, 15 minus 15 is 0, n equals, and -18 minus 15. Give you a second to think about that. And if you said -33, we might be correct. So let's double check it to make sure we didn't make a mistake. So we're going to write down 15 plus -33. We're going to divide that by -3, and hopefully it will equal 6. So 15 plus -33 is -18, divided by -3, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So 6 equals 6. It checks. Now remember, once again, if you're checking this in your calculator, you have to do 15 plus -33 and hit enter. That will give you the top part, which is -18. Then you divide it by -3, and your calculator will in fact say +6. Now that we've done the notes together, you should be good to go on your own. You will need to get a classwork from the teacher unless she's already handed them out. And please begin your two-step match and equation classwork. Have a great day.